The Noctua nh-d15 is probably one of the best coolers on the market as far as air coolers go, and it's going to be a great upgrade for the stock Intel CPU cooler that I have right now. In my case, this CPU is overheating. You want to keep it at about 80 degrees C and never exceed that, and lower than that is just the comfort range of where you want to have it. And this, I've seen it go up to 90, 100 whenever I'm doing, say, like rendering in Blender. That really starts to peak the CPU temperature, and that's not good. You don't want to have the CPU in that, and it really is going to decrease the life of it. This is really simple to remove. I just need to twist those clips, each one of them, quarter turn, and there's an arrow which tells you what direction to turn it. Pop out the plug for the CPU fan, and we're free. Box of mounting hardware. Everything is very well packaged. Now that is some serious heatsink. Pull out the cardboard piece and the second fan. In the common parts bag you have some extra thermal paste, which is going to be great to use, little noctua badge, and some 4-pin connectors. I think there's also a Y, so if you only have one 4-pin connection, you can connect both fans to it. The mount with the little ears is going to be your Intel mount. The other mount is if you're using an AMD CPU. And you can see there's a huge difference in size here. You've got one small fan and a heat sink with a little copper pad. Here we have 6 heat pipes, 2 big heat sinks, and 2 big fans. That's really going to help with cooling. The spring clips into what looks to be screw holes, and if you're not sure how it goes together, you can look at the fan that's already installed on the heat sink. I'll thread it in both of the holes. And pull a little bit. There we go. This just fits right in between the fins of the heatsink, and the same on the other side. And this is completely adjustable with height, so if you need to bring it up higher to get room for the RAM sticks underneath, that's not a problem. From the other side of the motherboard, this is where the mounting plate slides on. This is what really gives it its rigidity, but in this case, my frame is going to be hitting the mounting plate, so I'm going to have to unscrew the motherboard and just shift it over a little bit. I won't need to unscrew anything. I'll loosen up some of the screws. With that loosened up, it fits in there no problem. The black spacers fit onto these studs. Install the metal brackets with the ears facing outwards. These little caps thread right onto those studs that we just put the ears onto. Retighten the motherboard. Always clean off the old thermal paste before you put on a new one. Add the thermal paste, and it's always good to be a little bit on the excess side than having too little. If there's too much, it might squeeze out a little bit on the edge, but if there's too little, you could still have thermal problems, but not too much. You don't want to glob it all over the CPU. This fan that I had mounted on the side was taking up too much room, so I removed that, and now I have enough room to actually fit the cooler in there. This plastic cover is what covers the main heat surface right there, and that's really clean. That's like a mirror. Secure it in with the screwdriver that it comes with. Tighten the screws from the middle just until they stop. To keep everything simple, I'm going to use the Y cable, which just hooks both of these fans up back to one port, which I can plug into the motherboard where it says CPU fan. I'm going to install these fans so they're blowing down, because right here in the power supply I have a fan that's blowing in, so it's sucking air in here. The airflow will keep going down whenever I'm blowing it this way over the GPU, which also is blowing down, and then there's a fan here in the front which is going to be blowing everything out. So the flow of air is going to be the same, and it'll keep that just flowing nicely through the CPU. Now with this mounted, I've got the fans in with the clips in place, and it was pretty tricky on this side where the fan used to be because I don't have room to actually pull and reach the clips, so I had to use a screwdriver in between the fan grit. Basically what I did is just picked at the clips through these little holes, and I was able to just pull that down and latch it in place. I have both of these fans hooked up, so you have a fan wire right here and right here, and they both plug into the low noise adapter, which comes with it, and then that plugs into the Y that plugs into the CPU port, which is pretty tricky to get to behind here, and that's just where you plug in the CPU fan. I put the extra mounting hardware, like the AMD mounting hardware for if I ever wanted to upgrade my CPU maybe to an AMD or switch out the motherboard. I can still use this cooler and don't have to buy separate hardware. I just taped it in the bottom of the case. Let's go ahead and turn this on and see how it sounds and see how it performs. Now that's quiet. You can barely even hear those fans when they're on idle. I'm rendering some video right now, and my sensor temperatures, if I update it, 52 is the CPU temperature, which is Celsius, which is a great temperature to be at, and it really is not going any higher than that. 60, 55, it's just hovering right where it should be. When I was doing this exact render, which in this case it's just a render from Replay Mod, it was going above 90. It was like 95 degrees C, even peaking at 100 degrees C. And as soon as I saw that, I stopped it and went ahead and got this cooler. And I am very happy with the results that I'm getting. My CPU temperatures don't seem to be going above 60 and just hovering at 50. Of course, I'd like to do some more heavy CPU testing, and I'll really do that as time goes on and see how well it performs under like a render that I'll do overnight in Blender. But this is just looking great.